Welcome back to the channel. Today we're exploring some incredible old US coins. 1941, 1946, 1957, and 1958 Jefferson nickels. These coins might look common, but some of them can be worth a lot of money, depending on their condition and rare features. Make sure you watch till the end, because one small detail could turn your coin into real value. The 1941 Jefferson nickel is a fascinating piece of American coinage that reflects both the artistry and historical context of early 20th century United States minting. Officially issued by the United States Mint, this coin belongs to the Jefferson nickel series that began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The obverse of the coin features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and principal author of the Declaration of Independence. Designed by Felix Schlag, the portrait captures Jefferson's dignified and intellectual presence, symbolizing the ideals of liberty and democracy. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" to the left, "Liberty" to the right, and the year 1941 just beside it. The small D mint mark, located to the right of Monticello on the reverse, indicates that this particular coin was minted in Denver. On the reverse side, the coin prominently displays Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, rendered in a neoclassical style that reflects both architectural elegance and historical significance. Above Monticello is the inscription, "E pluribus unum," a Latin phrase meaning "out of many one," symbolizing the unity of the states. Below the building, the inscriptions Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America are clearly struck. The level of detail in the Monticello design varies depending on the coin's condition, with well-preserved examples showing sharp steps leading up to the building. These are often referred to as full steps nickels and are highly prized among collectors. The 1941 Jefferson nickel was composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a standard composition used before the United States entered World War II. This composition gave the coin its characteristic silver-gray appearance and durability in circulation. In 1942, the composition changed temporarily to include silver due to wartime metal shortages, making the 1941 issue one of the last pre-war nickels. The Denver Mint produced approximately 53,432,000 of these coins, making it a relatively common date in the series. However, high-grade specimens, especially those with full steps and minimal wear, can be significantly more valuable. From a collector's perspective, the value of a 1941 nickel depends heavily on its condition. Circulated coins which show signs of wear, such as smoothing of Jefferson's hair and flattening of Monticello's steps, typically hold modest value, often just slightly above face value. However, uncirculated examples with strong luster, sharp details, and no visible damage can command higher prices in the numismatic market. Coins graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services are particularly desirable. Additionally, coins with full steps designation, meaning the steps of Monticello are fully visible and uninterrupted, can fetch premium prices, sometimes reaching hundreds of dollars depending on overall quality. Historically, the year 1941 is significant as it marks the period just before the United States entered World War II, following the attack on Pearl Harbor in December of that year. Coins minted during this time reflect a nation on the brink of major global involvement, yet still maintaining its peacetime production standards. The craftsmanship and materials used in the 1941 nickel represent the last phase of traditional coinage before wartime adjustments were made. This adds an extra layer of historical value to the coin, making it not just a piece of currency, but a tangible artifact from a pivotal moment in world history. Collectors often examine several key features when evaluating a 1941 Jefferson nickel. These include strike quality, luster, surface preservation, and the presence of any minting errors. While major errors are rare for this issue, minor variations, such as die cracks or repunched mint marks, can add interest and value. Proper storage and handling are crucial for preserving the coin's condition. Experts recommend keeping coins in protective holders and avoiding direct contact to prevent oils and contaminants from affecting the surface. In conclusion, the 1941 Jefferson nickel is a classic and historically rich coin that offers both beginner and advanced collectors an opportunity to explore American numismatics. Its elegant design, connection to Thomas Jefferson, and place in the pre-war era of U.S. history make it a meaningful addition to any collection. While it may be common in lower grades, high-quality examples with exceptional detail and preservation can be quite valuable, especially those with full steps. Whether you are collecting for historical interest or investment, the 1941 D nickel stands as a testament to the enduring legacy of American coinage. The 1946 Jefferson nickel is an important and historically rich coin in the long-running 5-cent series of the United States. It was produced by the United States Mint during the first full year after World War II, marking a return to peacetime coinage after several years of wartime adjustments. This coin continues the Jefferson nickel design first introduced in 1938, featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse. The portrait was created by Felix Schlag, whose work won a national competition and replaced the earlier buffalo nickel design. The obverse includes the inscriptions "In God We Trust" along the left side of Jefferson's profile, while "Liberty" and the date 1946 appear on the right side. Unlike wartime nickels, 1942 to 1945, which had large mint marks above Monticello on the reverse, the 1946 nickel returned to the traditional placement of mint marks, if present, to the right of Monticello. The reverse of the 1946 Jefferson nickel displays the iconic image of Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia estate, rendered in a clean, symmetrical neoclassical style. Above the building is the Latin motto "E pluribus unum," meaning "out of many, one," symbolizing the unity of the United States. Below Monticello are the inscriptions "Monticello, 5 cents," and "United States of America." The level of detail on Monticello, particularly the steps leading up to the building, is a key factor in determining the coin's quality. Coins with sharply defined steps, known as full steps nickels, are especially prized by collectors because they indicate a strong strike and minimal wear. One of the most notable aspects of the 1946 Jefferson nickel is its composition. During World War II, from mid-1942 through 1945, nickels were made with a special alloy containing 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese to conserve nickel for military use. However, in 1946, the composition reverted to its original formula of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This change marked the end of the wartime silver-nickel era and the beginning of a new chapter in U.S. coinage. As a result, the 1946 nickel is often seen as a transition coin, bridging the gap between wartime necessity and post-war normalcy. In terms of mintage, the 1946 Jefferson nickel was produced in large quantities across 3 mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 161 million coins, the Denver Mint produced around 45 million, and the San Francisco Mint minted approximately 13 million. These high production numbers make the 1946 nickel relatively common in circulated condition. However, despite its abundance, finding high-grade uncirculated examples, especially those with full steps, is significantly more challenging and valuable. The value of a 1946 Jefferson nickel varies widely depending on its condition and specific characteristics. Circulated coins which show signs of wear, such as flattened details on Jefferson's hair and Monticello's steps, are typically worth only a small premium over face value. However, uncirculated coins with strong luster, minimal contact marks, and sharp details can command higher prices. Coins graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services are particularly desirable, and those with the full steps designation can be worth significantly more, sometimes reaching into the hundreds of dollars depending on eye appeal and surface quality. From a historical perspective, the 1946 Jefferson nickel reflects a nation transitioning from war to peace. The end of World War II in 1945 brought about significant economic and industrial changes, and coin production resumed using traditional materials and methods. The coin serves as a tangible reminder of this period, representing stability, recovery, and continuity in American life. Collectors often appreciate the 1946 nickel not just for its design, but also for its connection to this pivotal moment in history. When evaluating a 1946 Jefferson nickel, collectors pay close attention to several factors: strike quality, luster, surface preservation, and any potential minting errors. While major errors are rare for this year, minor die cracks, Off-center strikes or repunched mint marks can add interest and value. Proper care is essential for maintaining a coin's condition. Storing it in a protective holder and avoiding direct handling can help preserve its original surfaces and prevent damage. In conclusion, the 1946 Jefferson nickel is a classic example of post-war American coinage, combining historical significance with enduring design. Featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson and the architectural beauty of Monticello, it remains a favorite among collectors. While common in lower grades, high-quality examples with full steps and strong eye appeal are highly sought after. Whether you are a beginner or an experienced numismatist, the 1946 nickel offers a meaningful and accessible entry into the world of coin collecting, embodying both the legacy of American history and the artistry of its currency. The 1958 Jefferson nickel is a classic mid-20th century United States coin that reflects both stability in American coinage and the continued popularity of the Jefferson nickel series. It was minted by the United States Mint at its Denver facility, as indicated by the small d mint mark found on the reverse side of the coin, to the right of Monticello. This coin belongs to the long-running Jefferson nickel series that began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel and introducing a more refined and historically symbolic design. The obverse of the coin features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, one of the most influential founding fathers of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. This portrait was designed by Felix Schlag, whose work won a national competition and has remained largely unchanged for decades, making it one of the most recognizable designs in American coinage. On the obverse, the inscriptions "In God We Trust" appear along the left side of Jefferson's profile, while "Liberty" and the year 1958 are inscribed on the right side. The typography and layout are clean and balanced, reflecting the neoclassical design principles that inspired Schlag's work. Jefferson's portrait is detailed with visible hair texture and facial features that in well-preserved coins exhibit strong definition and luster. The condition of the obverse is a key factor in determining the coin's overall grade and value, with collectors paying close attention to signs of wear, contact marks, and the presence of original mint luster. The reverse of the 1958 Jefferson nickel features an image of Monticello, Jefferson's historic estate in Virginia. This structure is depicted in a symmetrical frontal view, showcasing its dome and columned facade. Above Monticello is the inscription "E pluribus unum," a Latin phrase meaning "out of many one," symbolizing the unity of the United States. Below the building are the inscriptions "Monticello," 5 cents, and "United States of America." The small d mint mark is located to the right of Monticello, indicating that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. One of the most important features on the reverse is the set of steps leading up to Monticello. In high-quality coins, these steps are fully visible and sharply defined. Such coins are referred to as having full steps, a designation that significantly increases their desirability and market value among collectors. The 1958 Jefferson nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a standard alloy used for most Jefferson nickels outside of the wartime years, 1942 through 1945. This composition gives the coin its characteristic silver-gray color and durability. The coin has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and a weight of 5 grams, consistent with other nickels in the series. Its edge is plain, without any reading or inscriptions. The durability of the copper-nickel alloy allowed these coins to circulate widely and remain in use for many years, which is why most examples found today show some degree of wear. In terms of mintage, the 1958 Jefferson nickel was produced in large numbers, with over 168 million coins struck at the Denver Mint. This high mintage makes the coin relatively common in circulated condition, and it is often found in pocket change or coin rolls even decades after its release. However, despite its abundance, finding high-grade uncirculated examples, especially those with full steps, is much more challenging. Many coins from this era were not carefully preserved, and the quality of strikes varied, making well-struck, sharply detailed specimens particularly valuable. The value of a 1958 Jefferson nickel depends heavily on its condition and specific characteristics. Circulated coins, which show wear on Jefferson's hair and the steps of Monticello, typically have modest value, often just slightly above face value. Uncirculated coins, on the other hand, can be worth significantly more, especially if they retain strong luster and have minimal contact marks. Coins graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services are especially desirable. Those with the full steps designation can command premium prices, sometimes reaching into the hundreds of dollars, depending on overall quality, eye appeal, and market demand. Collectors also look for minting errors and varieties in 1958D nickels, although major errors are relatively rare. Minor die cracks, off-center strikes, or planchet flaws can add interest and value to a coin. Additionally, the overall eye appeal, how clean and attractive the coin appears, is an important factor in determining its desirability. Coins with smooth surfaces, bright luster, and minimal blemishes are more likely to attract attention from collectors and command higher prices. Historically, the year 1958 represents a period of economic growth and stability in the United States. The country was in the midst of the post-World War II boom, with expanding industries, rising consumer confidence, and increasing global influence. Coins like the 1958D Jefferson nickel were part of everyday life, used in commerce, and reflecting the nation's economic vitality. While not directly tied to a major historical event like wartime coins, the 1958D nickel still holds cultural significance as a representation of mid-century America. In conclusion, the 1958D Jefferson nickel is a well-crafted and historically meaningful coin that continues to be popular among collectors. Featuring the enduring portrait of Thomas Jefferson and the elegant image of Monticello, it embodies the artistic and cultural values of American coinage. While common in lower grades, high-quality examples with full steps and strong visual appeal are highly sought after and can be quite valuable. Whether you are a beginner exploring coin collecting or an experienced numismatist building a comprehensive collection, the 1958D nickel offers both accessibility and depth, making it a worthwhile addition to any collection. The 1957 Jefferson nickel is a notable example of mid-20th century American coinage, representing a period of economic growth, industrial strength, and continuity in design. It was produced by the United States Mint as part of the long-running Jefferson nickel series, which began in 1938. This series replaced the Buffalo nickel and introduced a more refined and historically symbolic design centered around Thomas Jefferson, one of the most influential founding fathers of the United States. The 1957 issue was minted in large quantities at both the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint, D mint mark, making it a relatively common coin in circulated condition, yet still highly collectible in higher grades. The obverse of the 1957 Jefferson nickel features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag, whose work won a national design competition in the late 1930s. Jefferson's portrait is depicted with a calm and thoughtful expression, symbolizing his role as a statesman, philosopher, and author of the Declaration of Independence. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions "In God We Trust" along the left side, and "Liberty," followed by the year 1957 on the right. The design is clean and balanced, with strong neoclassical influences that reflect Jefferson's own architectural tastes and intellectual ideals. In well-preserved examples, the obverse displays fine details in Jefferson's hair and facial features, along with a bright mint luster that enhances the coin's visual appeal. The reverse of the coin showcases Monticello, Jefferson's historic estate in Virginia, rendered in a symmetrical and detailed architectural style. Above the building is the inscription "E pluribus unum," a Latin phrase meaning "out of many one," which reflects the unity of the United States. Below Monticello are the inscriptions "Monticello," 5 cents, and "United States of America." If the coin was minted in Denver, a small D mint mark appears to the right of Monticello. Philadelphia issues do not carry a mint mark. One of the most important features on the reverse is the set of steps leading up to Monticello. In high-grade coins, these steps are sharply defined and fully visible. Such coins are referred to as having full steps, a designation that significantly increases their desirability and value among collectors. The 1957 Jefferson nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a standard alloy used for most nickels outside of the wartime years, 1942 through 1945, when silver was temporarily included due to metal shortages. The coin has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and a weight of 5 grams, with a plain edge. This durable composition allowed the coin to withstand heavy circulation, which is why many surviving examples today show signs of wear such as flattened details and reduced luster. Despite this, the coin remains a staple in many collections due to its historical context and accessible nature. In terms of mintage, the 1957 Jefferson nickel was produced in large numbers. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 136 million coins, while the Denver Mint produced approximately 38 million. These high mintage figures make the coin relatively easy to find in circulated grades. However, high-quality uncirculated examples, especially those with full steps, are much more difficult to locate and can command significantly higher prices. The quality of the strike, the presence of original mint luster, and the absence of contact marks or surface damage are all critical factors in determining the coin's grade and market value. The value of a 1957 Jefferson nickel varies depending on its condition and specific characteristics. Circulated coins typically have modest value, often just slightly above face value. Uncirculated coins, particularly those graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services, can be worth considerably more. Coins with the full steps designation are especially prized and can reach premium prices, sometimes exceeding hundreds of dollars depending on their overall quality and eye appeal. Additionally, collectors may seek out coins with unique features such as die cracks, off-center strikes, or other minting anomalies, although such errors are relatively rare for this year. From a historical perspective, the 1957 Jefferson nickel reflects a time of prosperity and optimism in the United States. The country was experiencing the post-World War II economic boom, with expanding industries, suburban growth, and increasing global influence. Coins like the 1957 nickel were part of everyday transactions, circulating widely and serving as a tangible representation of the nation's economic activity. While not associated with a specific major event, the coin embodies the stability and continuity of American life during this era. Collectors often evaluate the 1957 Jefferson nickel based on several key criteria: strike quality, luster, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal. Proper storage and handling are essential for maintaining a coin's condition. Using protective holders and avoiding direct contact can help preserve its original surfaces. Over time, even small imperfections can affect a coin's grade and value, making careful preservation a priority for serious collectors. In conclusion, the 1957 Jefferson nickel is a classic and historically meaningful coin that continues to attract collectors of all levels. Featuring the enduring portrait of Thomas Jefferson and the elegant image of Monticello, it represents both artistic achievement and historical continuity. While common in lower grades, high-quality examples with full steps and strong visual appeal are highly sought after and can be quite valuable. Whether you are a beginner exploring the world of coin collecting or an experienced numismatist building a comprehensive set, the 1957 nickel offers both accessibility and depth, making it a valuable addition to any collection.